know, man. The week was stressful. The weekend was stressful. But it's time to rejoice because it's Monday. It's 6 p.m. Central Time. And that can only mean one thing. Chase and Shep's Mellow Mondays. Available on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and chaseandshep.com, baby boy.
Oh, heyo.
And wherever else you stream stuff, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. That's right. You know the deal.
Another Monday, another rad Monday, or another sad Monday. It just depends on how you look at it, I guess.
That's true. That's true. It's all in the perspective, like we like to say around here, around these parts.
Well, my very best team, the Bears, didn't pull through last night, so it's kind of rough to watch.
It is a sad Monday. But have no fear, because we have a guest here. You've probably seen him over at Camp Nostalgic. You've definitely seen him in the comments section, and he was in our 420 special. Welcome, Randy Phillips.
Hello.
Officially.
Hi, everybody. My hands keep getting faded out. They blend in too well.
So if you're here, who the hell is going to talk to us in the comments section today?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm a long time viewer, first time caller. So
Yeah.
Nice.
I love it. Hey, so I have a question for you, Shep. You're talking about the Bears. My buddy asked me a question the other day. How do you think it would fare over if the Bears left Chicago?
Like they're trying to move out of the city right now. Do you mean like move away from?
But they're just not in Illinois anymore. They just take off to another state. Like, the Rams they went to St. Louis now, I think.
To me, it would really depend, because like I've liked the Bears just because like when I grew up, it was like you like the Bears, you like the Bulls, the 90s, Chicago. So if they moved out of state, if another team moved in state, then I'd probably start rooting for the other team that moved in state, because I'm loyal to where I'm at. Right. Now, if I happen to move where the Bears moved to and found myself in like Los Angeles, that's where they moved to, where you could choose fucking 10 different teams if you want. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah. So I feel the same way, because that's how I was like with the Rams growing up near St. Louis. Like everybody loved Rams in the area, so I like the Rams. So it's kind of funny. I had the same way. But now I'm just a Dolphins fan, but purely out of mascot, because they're the least intimidating mascot in the fucking league. So because I'm not really sure a Dolphin can actually play football. But
but they did good this past weekend, so they're on one right now. So the Dolphins, they're killing it, I guess. They're doing a lot better than the Bears. Let's put it that way.
Like that's like as far as I know, I don't know. Like I love football and stuff, but I don't watch it. I like playing it. I'm one of those guys, That's like. Yeah, like I could definitely get behind it, but I'm not a watcher. I'm more of like a playing sports. I'm fat as hell, but I love playing sports and shit like that. I was like that in like high school and stuff.
I actually saw today. There's a guy, I forget what college he's going to, but a 49-year-old dude is going, and he's playing college football. I think South Dakota or something right now. He's the oldest man to ever
play college football.
College football, yes. 49.
I mean, if he's still built, that's the way to do it, though.
If you can do it, I've always laughed and thought about that. It's like, I think about that. Now it's like, if I took from 18 to 30 and just did nothing but work out and play football, and then go to college and be like, let's go.
They got it. They got it all wrong, because this guy's doing it right. Because usually at a young age, you destroy your body, and then you suffer for it in your old age. But you got all this money because you got a little money if you played college ball, or you got a lot of money if you played, national or whatever. But in the scope of things, you should live your life and enjoy your life young. And then when you're like old, but you're still really healthy, then go destroy your body for some college football. Hell yeah.
Like right now,
is that you?
Brett Favre. Brett Favre retired a while ago, Bell.
Did he though? When?
He did.
What time? Which time?
That's true. Tom Brady is still playing. He is the oldest NFL player to play a game.
He's the one that won't just retire.
I seen that surprisingly.
But like I'm telling you right now, looking at like I'd take the lowest paid salary in the NFL to play a game, right? And in my shape right now, I'd go out there and I'd get destroyed. They could pay me $26,000.
See, that would spice up. I would watch football if they allowed people to do that. Just people off the street, like, hey, do you want 20 grand? And you have to tackle other dudes as hard as you can.
Why did we stop at Invincible? That's my question. Because Invincible was essentially that. I mean, it's the movie they made off of that. But that's was a bartender from Philly. Got to live the dream, man.
That's the Eagles one with Mark.
Yeah.
I love that movie. That's a great movie.
I don't know why more teams don't try to Invincible it up.
Or is he going back to college? Brett Favre?
Yeah. Yeah, Brett Favre is going back to college, and then he's going to play college ball to pay for his college.
It sounded like the start of like a really goofy comedy from the 2000s. Brett Favre is going back to college.
There are some players that you never know. I mean, like, what if you did that? What if you were really good in college, then you went to the pros, you sucked ass, and you got dropped, and you were out, and it's like, I
feel like,
well, why don't I just go back for like my master's degree and play again?
I feel like Invincible has definitely already been made. It's one of those movies that's already been made. Like I know there's like a baseball movie out there or somewhere where it's just like we don't have enough players for our big national multi-million-dollar team. Right. Like we need somebody off the street to play.
What's a Rookie of the Year where that kid gets his shoulder busted and he's like wow, plays for the Dodgers or some shit.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like it's been done 1,000 times, but I think the what was the appeal of it was Mark Wahlberg doing it for the Eagles, and I think Mark Wahlberg was like a huge Eagles fan as well. So, because I remember watching like the after credits, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm actually here on the field with the Eagles, training with the Eagles on how to play." And I'm like, so cool. So the movie's about a guy who's had a lot of training with professionals before he goes and tries.
Well, I mean, I think that was based on a true story. I think that really happened back in the 70s or 80s. But like, it was
definitely like an autobiographical like movie.
That would be wild. You know, I mean, hell, even if I was at an Eagles whoever game and they're like, hey, we're not going to play this next down. We're going to have Marky Mark come out here and he's going to catch this. He's just going to get destroyed. I'd go for it.
Yeah, that was when Disney was like on a kick with those movies for a while. Like that was like their thing there for a minute. It was like you had your Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and then you had your National Treasure movies, and then you had your like uplifting sports stories. So in that time you had Invincible for football, you had Glory Road for basketball.
That's a good one.
What was the other one? Miracle for hockey with Kurt Russell. Airbud.
That's still like my favorite
Moving
sketch.
Story.
Like I want to produce this somehow, some way, sometime. Is just replacing Airbud with just like exorcism possessed girl. And it's just like there's nothing in the rules that says a demon possessed girl can't play basketball.
Miracle in Lane 1. That was a different movie. That was a Disney Channel original, I believe. Miracle in Lane 1.
That's like that would be a pretty good one. Have they done that? I mean, like, of course, in Teen Wolf he played basketball. But like, have they ever done it like, the night before the championship game?
I knew it.
Half the team dies on the way there or something. They're like, we got to raise these motherfuckers from the dead. They don't, they can play. They can still play.
Right. That was a Frankie Muniz.
See, now that's a sports movie I can get behind. That sounds like some shit we'd make.
Yeah, no, that would be pretty fun.
So like instead of mourning the team and getting past it and playing the game for those we lost, let's resurrect these motherfuckers and get their dead asses out of there and win the fucking basketball game.
You do
Space Jam 3.
You do the morning.
Hey Ty. Hey Heather.
You do that.
Whichever one of you, both of you.
After you win that championship, that's when they do the crossing over to the other side. It's all beautiful, and you're like, "Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna miss you."
Right? They score a touchdown and then go to heaven. Yeah.
That's now that's what I'm thinking is like. I'm trying to answer like what would be my like favorite sports movie of all time, and it's
a tough one. I really like fighting movies. That's like my favorite.
Does that count?
I like to think.
Does Fight Club count as a sports movie?
I see. Now I wouldn't consider that. Like boxing movies like Rocky or The Fighter or whatever. You know, I love boxing movies, I should say. I
Yeah.
suppose fighting movies is probably a little broad. But I
feel
love
like
boxing movies and baseball movies. I feel
Rocky.
like,
If I had to Google like best sports movies of all time, you know, any of the Rockies are gonna like pop up.
you know,
for
it's
sure.
Bud Randy.
It's definitely Air Bud. It's definitely Air Bud for Randy.
I mean, if you're going back on those,
close one.
there was a
No.
lot of really good 90s ones. There was like the Mighty Ducks.
I got it. Like, Mighty Ducks is. Oh, I used to watch that shit all the time when I was a kid.
What's the one?
In all seriousness, I think the sports movie I've probably seen the most times in my lifetime is Space Jam. So it might be fair to say that Space Jam is my favorite.
First Space Jam. Yeah.
But you also got the.
But I was gonna say,
Sandlot.
Mike.
Like Mike was excellent. I loved Like Mike back in the day.
I think that was one of my favorite ones. That's with the little aspiring rapper. He was
Bow Wow.
Lil Bow Wow. He was like the first like actual like kid rapper.
Bow Wow while he was still Lil. Yeah.
But they had that one back in the day with some of the people from Mighty Ducks. I feel like was in it where they were in soccer too.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. What's that?
I feel like there was an Air Bud when he played soccer.
I can picture the
Air Bud has done it all.
Man.
He's went to space. He's cast magic.
Friday Night Lights will always make me cry.
Friday
Night Lights was a good one.
I've only seen that one. Oh, Remember the Titans.
What I was gonna say. Remember the Titans is solid.
That's a movie I've seen infinite number.
If I'm going for my favorite though, I'm gonna have to say football. My favorite football centric movie, I would say, would definitely be Waterboy.
Oh my god! Okay,
that one's solid. Still holds up to this day.
That's Primo Sandler. I feel like that's Sandler feeling himself in those days. Yeah,
actually, that was a dramatic football movie. Belle and I. It was the beginning of I think it was the beginning of this year. Was Radio? Yeah, that was a good
Radio.
We saw American Underdog at the beginning of this year. When I saw the trailers for that movie, I really didn't think anything of it. I really thought, oh, here's some.
It wasn't advertised. That one doesn't.
No, it seemed very like one of those corny Christian heavy movies.
Here's Kurt Warner's story. And it's like,
and I was like, I don't care. But then we watched it, and I was like blown away at how good of a film it was. I was like, God, this is a great movie. Like, I was really impressed.
If we got to give football movies dramatic, some love, back in the day, Any Given Sunday was a very good one too.
I don't think I've seen that.
That one had a lot of good stars at the time. Like Al Pacino was up in it. I remember.
Belle's just naming off her favorite sports movies right now.
I forget.
Bad News Bears. Coach Carter. Coach Carter
that
was
just
one of my
passed away, but he was in it. But it was like Jamie Foxx being that young quarterback getting drafted, coming in. And the old veteran, like in his Tom Brady stage.
See, that looks really good. That looks like something I'd watch in the era that I was watching. What the hell was that one they remade with all the prisoners playing football? God,
The Longest Yard.
The Longest Yard.
Yeah. Okay.
Dave just said that one down here. Sandler did 2 football movies. Yeah, Longest Yard was pretty funny too.
Varsity Blues was solid too back in the day. That was one of those I was
Varsity Blues. I think that was the one I was trying to remember. Oh,
that's like
is that
I was waiting for this one. Gridiron Gang. That kept coming to mind.
Is that the one where the fuck, I can't remember the actor's name or the actress's name. She comes out and she has like whipped cream all over her, and the guy just like walks away, and then they see her like their teacher at the strip club and shit like that. Like as like a kid, when I watched that shit was like, high school is gonna be a fucking amazing.
Oh, Little Giants, yeah.
Little Giants was good. Yeah, that was a solid one. We're just giving football movies some love, and you know what? And this one might
Sandlot.
Who knew?
This might be. Just because I'm a Bears fan, but one of the best dramatics is going to always be Brian's Song forever. Okay, that's an 80s movie.
I definitely haven't seen this one.
No.
That's one of my Bears homies. I know that they'll all get it. They'll be like, oh, Brian's Song. Yes.
What was the one where Keanu? I think The Replacements.
Replacements. Yeah. He was in that. Basketball was a good one. Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
Baseball movies.
That's another one on the pre-podcast when we were talking about like movies people are ashamed of, but you like naturally just enjoyed. Like basketball was one of those. Like I loved it, and then I seen Trey and Matt, and like they were like, no, we didn't really like those and stuff like that in like interviews, and I was just like, wow, okay. Like I genuinely thought that was a great fucking movie, but like it's like now it's like it makes me feel dumb. It's like, are you just shitting on my sense of humor? Because I love it.
He's saying when Keanu Reeves was younger, but it's not the replacements. The little boy got shot that was on the team. That sounds familiar, actually.
That sounds super familiar. Oh,
I don't know.
You sure it's Keanu? Can we look this up? Wow, first search result, Keanu Reeves football movie, but it says replacements.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wouldn't know either.
Yeah,
that sounds like
football movie where the kid gets shot. That's got a hardball.
Oh, maybe. Chase Caesar film. Yeah, is it hardball?
I'm a Googler. That sounds about right, because that's what
I just heard her go yes from outside.
It's like it's all the Undercity kids that are like playing or like that form a team, and everybody's having a good time, and it's such a good movie.
Coach a little league team. They should have.
It's like the littlest one who gets like shot too, isn't it? It's like, oh my god, it's fucking heart wrenching, dude. Like,
wait,
it's
dude.
like why would you do that in a movie?
Wait,
like,
I wonder if this is the movie I always think of when, like, I know that there's a scene where this like little kid gets shot in the, and I can never figure out what the movie is. And I wonder if this isn't that movie.
It's probably that movie. It's like he gets like caught in a crossfire or something like that.
Yeah,
and
this might be that movie.
And the entire team is just like we have been beaten by the system, but we're gonna win this baseball game. And the coach is a piece of shit.
I just I just remembered the movie Simon Birch.
Oh shit!
Hits that ball and it hits that kid's mom in the temple, and she dies.
She dies.
Talking about terrible death.
I'm pretty sure that's the same movie that fucked me up because like I seen it as like a little kid, and it was the scene where he had the crush. And he had like baby Jesus or something in the manger, and he just like grabs her boobs, and I was just like, the scene haunted me as a child too. I'm like, this is stuff you can't expose kids to. It just sticks with you. It's like it does. Fucked up.
I'm always like so impressed when other people have seen Simon Birch. Like I feel like that's not a movie that gets brought up a lot.
Yeah,
but like I watch because I remember my mom like.
I feel like it won awards unless I'm wrong.
Because I know Jim Carrey is in it. He's like the narrator.
Like it's
I believe so. Yeah.
It's insane to call it a comedy. Like,
so with the plot of Hardball, I see that the little league team that he coaches is from the Cabrini Green Housing Project in Chicago. So, I propose a Hardball Candyman crossover needed to happen. I feel like that ship might have sailed.
That would be interesting. I mean, that's what I've always thought about too.
Aren't showing up to the football practice no more.
It's too convenient. It's too convenient in horror movies of where they get caught, right? It should just be in normal everyday situations, like a baseball game.
Right, you're just running down the field and Candyman's like right behind you. You're like, oh god, I know. I literally almost said the same thing. Hard candy.
Oh, Hard Candy.
Hard Candy's better than Ball Man, that's for sure.
That's a movie that it was very uncomfortable for me to watch for like maybe a decade or so, and I was just like revisiting it. I was like, this is.
I've actually never seen Hard Candy.
It's a.
I've heard it's kind of
Dreams. Yeah, that's a classic. That's a classic. If you build it, they will come.
That's more. Yeah, that's more feel good than Hard Candy for sure.
What was that bowling movie?
Bowling, The Big Lebowski?
No, but it was probably around that same time.
Kingpin. That's one of my all-time favorite movies. I love that movie.
That was a good one.
That's another one I haven't seen. Yeah.
Oh, Chase!
I feel like that was one that like didn't get enough love.
Oh my god, yeah, it's an underrated classic that like Comedy Central like used to like play nonstop.
Yeah. I'd always see it on TV, but it was always one of those things where it's like I would actually like to watch that movie, and so I'd always come into the middle, and I'm like,
oh
just wait.
Yeah, no, watching it in its entirety, it's one of those It's just a romp of a time, like one of my all-time favorites. Definitely, it's definitely like they're so funny that it's like I don't even think about sports, them being like sports movies, but
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, that is a sports movie. They bowl a lot.
I love the fact that this entire episode's just turned into a conversation
An episode about
movies.
sports movies.
Out of nowhere. I mean, like, see,
People are like getting creative with Randy Phillips. And
that's
it's
what
like,
people come to me for is sports
movies.
movie recommendations.
Right.
I run a whole blog.
We're unlocking treasure troves of movies that people probably haven't heard about.
One of my personal favorites.
That's what we're doing. We're unlocking nostalgia for everyone.
Have you guys seen Moneyball with Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill?
Oh yes, that's a good one too. That was back when Jonah Hill was finally being taken seriously.
That was the first time, and actually, I know earlier we were talking about Q&As with directors and stuff. The one year I went to Ebert Fest, the director of Moneyball was there with. He was playing Capote. It was the year that Philip Seymour Hoffman died, and he had directed both those movies. And Foxcatcher was getting ready to come out later in the year with Steve Carell and Channing Tatum and Mark Ruffalo in it, and it was a movie about wrestling. It was a true story, and you know, the fact that he cast Steve Carell in this movie, that's like clearly a drama. It was one of the first times we'd seen Steve Carell in a drama like that. And so I was one of the lucky people who got to ask the director a question. And I asked him, what, made you think to cast these comedic actors in these serious roles? Because he was the first person to do that for Jonah Hill.
Sounds like funny people. That sounds like funny people logic.
Yeah.
Let's try to do a funny movie, but talk about how depressed funny people actually are or whatever. And honestly, like I like funny people, but it's probably not like one of my top Sandler like films.
Did you mention the movie The Wrestler, Chase?
I did not mention the movie The Wrestler.
I thought when you were talking about that guy, you were saying that I don't know why I heard those words, but
I don't think anybody's mentioned.
No, Foxcatcher is a wrestling movie, but not like WWE wrestling. It's like actually.
I'm surprised if Dave's here. He hasn't even mentioned a wrestling.
Well, they're both mentioning.
I see the conversation has turned to just baseball movies specifically now. League of Their Own was thrown out 2 times.
I watched that a lot growing up. Actually, that was on TV.
A lot of movies are being thrown out right now that I've never seen before.
League of Their Own was pretty rad, man. I like that. Angels.
Are they remaking that?
The remake.
It's a Prime series, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was gonna say it's like got turned into a TV show or something like that. Yeah.
But Angels in the Outfield was a great one. Yeah, I remember that shit when I was a kid. That was pretty legit.
The Sandlot is like, just the OG, the quintessential baseball movie. It's so nice they made it twice. The Sandlot, the Sandlot sequel is literally just the Sandlot done all over again. Like, and nobody seemed to give a shit either. People were like, that's fine.
I think that's what everybody expects. When we go to watch a remake, we want to see the same thing again, but like in a newer fashion. But like we still want to see the same thing, just the same thing. It's like comic book adaptations. You want to see it exactly like the comic. You don't want to like see a deviation. But everybody goes in like, I want to tell a new story. That's how everybody goes to make a film or something like that. I want to tell my own story.
So I think that's a good place to launch into a different conversation with like those adaptations and stuff and keeping them like exact. I forgive it with like comic book movies and stuff because yes, like obviously we're like, oh, we'll tell that story. That's what we want. Like at this point, I'm cool with them doing variations on the story. James Gunn basically like nipped that in the bud for me because when Guardians came out, I know in an interview he had said something about like in the comics there's so many different universes and they redo it all the time that this is just another universe. Like the MCU is just these events are happening in different ways, and I was always cool with that. The one medium that I think that they need to quit fucking taking so much liberty with and just stick to the goddamn script is video game adaptations. Video games are offered up on a silver platter with perfect storytelling sometimes. And people, I don't not finish movies often, but Assassin's Creed, I didn't make 10 minutes into that movie because
I didn't even know that movie existed.
It's got Michael Fassbender in it and everything.
Like shit.
Yeah, and it came out not that long
ago. That's
awful.
Like
2016,
probably
2017.
Probably like 5-6 years.
What was it? A newer one too? Uncharted. A lot of people had a problem with Uncharted.
I I'm a big Uncharted fan of the video games, and so with the Uncharted movie, I really didn't mind it. That was one of those
Okay.
movies where I'm like, what's people's problem with this? You know, because it
Okay.
seems pretty faithful to like not the story, but like
The essence
the
type
essence
thing?
of it,
Yeah.
and they draw from like different games and stuff. But
Mhm.
for the most part, I was more shocked at how much was accurate to the game in that movie as opposed to not.
See, that sounds like almost kind of like a Resident Evil thing for me. Big fan of Resident Evil growing up.
Mhm.
The first Resident Evil movie hit, I was like, I love this. This is good. This is a whole different story that you could say belonged in the Resident Evil's universe. It was
Right.
Resident Evil 1 was a fantastic movie. Resident Evil 2 came out. The fan service in that movie made me happy. I was fine with it. I was like, okay, you guys just introduce these characters as the characters in the game. Everything's fine. And then they kept going and going. And I think in like 3 or 4, one from like 5 shows up, or like a monster from 5. And I'm like, we're just going willy-nilly here. Why is the executioner from South Africa here? Right now, like in the shower room with you, like what is going on besides just to look cool type thing. But like that entire series will drive you insane if you watch it, because they go from Resident Evil Annihilation, which is like no more water, no more trees, no more plants, the world is dead, we can't sustain here
extinction
anymore.
I think
and then literally the next movie, it starts with a panning shot of an ocean and trees and and it's like, those no movies, guys, we just said the world was over, what are you doing?
That's one of those games where like it's unfortunate because there is a fantastic story just there for the picking. I thought they were going to do it with this most recent one, but with Resident Evil movies, like those are like one of the biggest guilty pleasure movies. Like I love watching those Resident Evil movies. I couldn't tell you why. Like I don't know why I enjoy all of those movies, because they really get to be some garbage there at the end.
Yeah,
but I still love
from honest enjoy to just I'm watching this out of sheer spite and madness. Like what was was it 3? That was the 3D one, I think.
No, it was the fourth one, because 4, 5, and 6 were basically one big movie. And the 5th one I actually saw in theaters, and I hadn't seen the 4th one. Well, the 5th one's basically the middle. It's an act 2 of a 3-act thing, and I saw it in theaters. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
It was like 5 or 6 where they were like, it was all a dream. It never happened. We're going way back to the 3rd movie, and it was like
convoluted.
I'm fine with
messy,
that, honestly, kind of.
But I'm like, I'm here for it. I don't know why I love this messiness series.
One of my like favorite things ever, I think, was in the 3D movie, because we went and watched it in theater. And I had my brother next to me, and we have such a hive mind and such a stupid sense of humor that when Alice goes and uses the flashlight, it comes over the camera and the flashlight comes towards you, and they literally make it a 3D light object coming at you. And I'm like, you guys, like, a flashlight isn't 3D. Like, you just burnt our eyes out with a lightsaber. It looked like it was just like, why did you do that? Like, in any aspect.
Really enjoy most shows that come from games, even if they don't follow the stories well. Halo is a far cry, but it's good. Yeah, I haven't seen the Halo show. I didn't play Halo much when I was a kid.
I have my buddy is a huge Halo fanboy. His takeaway from it was like he didn't really like it, but some of the parts were really cool because they were from the game. So it's like seeing some of the shit from the game was like really cool, but like the story and the aspect of it wasn't like good or like enough reason to really like the show, I guess, or something like that. I haven't seen it. I'm not a big Halo person. It does have a cool lore to it, though.
The argument that usually gets made with video game adaptations that I always think is kind of silly is that when they change everything, their reason for changing everything is like, oh, well, everybody knows what happens. We don't want to just give them exactly what happens. There will be no surprises. As a video game fan, I'm not going to see your movie to be surprised.
Yeah.
I'm coming to see your movie to see a video game story that I love realized into a live action film, so that other people who are not going to play this video game can experience this story as well. Absolutely. And so like something like Assassin's Creed that is just fucking like they came up with this whole new story. And I'm like, just do the fucking story. Like, just do the game.
There's a reason you can go to YouTube right now and find no talking gameplay footage of entire games and stuff, because people like watching games. even if they can't play them or don't want to play it. I would like, because I heard talks about making a Mass Effect or something like that. I don't want it. I'm cool with it as long as they don't use Shepard. Like, don't use Shepard if you're not going to tell Shepard's story. You know, like that's how I feel. But but it's like to that degree, I would love to just have an encapsulation of that video game. So I could be like, oh, I remember Chrono Trigger. And then you just put in a DVD and you watch all of Chrono Trigger play out in a movie without any of the long battles or the thinking or anything like that. You see the whole story just unfold before your eyes. So it's like, yeah, it's accessible to everybody. And it doesn't require you to go play the entire game over again, you know, to go through it all, to reminisce. That'd be really cool.
What I regularly do with the BioShock series. I love watching the gameplay with no voiceover. See, in BioShock, again, a game with a great story. They're getting ready to do an adaptation. We will see how it goes.
Yeah.
I grew up watching, we had Super Mario Brothers come out when I was a kid. So my heart was already broken at a very young age.
Yeah.
For me, it was Final Fantasy. It was when Final Fantasy came out with their first movie with the Spirits Within or whatever.
The
everybody
animated thing.
Yeah, it was like their first animated thing. But everybody was mad because they're like, there's no Cloud, there's nobody from any other game, and they're like, well, no, it's they're like, you don't get it. It's Final Fantasy. It's a whole different Final Fantasy. It's still the Final Fantasy universe. It's just like if you played the next game, but instead it's a movie form. So if you look at it as just a movie in its own story, it's great. But people at the time wanted the game story, and like you said, the Mario Brothers movie, that was a wild, wacky trip of this is you can't. Like, but how do you make a movie? How do you make a whole movie with? We'll find out, I guess. Right? It's coming. It's coming with Chris Pratt as.
Oh yeah,
that's
right.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So yeah,
what a cast.
It's gonna be here.
I mean, some of them, like I never watched the Sonic movies, but I mean, apparently that did good enough.
They're pretty good.
I enjoyed the first one. I haven't seen the second one.
I haven't seen the second one yet either.
The product placement was the only thing that made me belly laugh, though, was at the end they're like, oh god, gift cards to the Olive Garden, and I'm like, why that was so bad and unimportant. They have
your family
Zillow, they just have the laptop open and just at the Zillow
that's right.
There was some really bad product placement.
What you know about board game movies?
I still think Wayne's World did
Jumanji.
the product placement the best.
Wayne's World, they did the anti-product placement. That was really good. I thought that was pretty funny.
Board game movies. Clue was good. That was like the OG back in the
I
days.
know there's more than just Clue, and I'm drawing a blank right now.
Well, Jumanji would be one.
Clue was so fun.
Was Jumanji a board game prior to the release?
They made a board game regardless.
That was
they made one after.
That was just a movie about a fictional
board game, about like a haunted board game. Yeah. So, but
it's a video game now.
The Clue movie though was really cool because it was a game. It was a game inside itself, because at the end you got the multiple ending choices where you could choose who the actual killer was, because every clue in the movie would lead to whoever the ending guys were.
Apparently Ryan Reynolds is doing a remake of Clue.
Yeah, so that would be it'd be interesting, especially after Bandersnatch, one of my least favorite experiences in my life. I hope it doesn't turn into that, but like I get what they were going for. I get a lot of people love it, but like in that whole sequence, I think I've replayed the same scenes like 6 times, and sooner or later I'm like, I don't want to know what the other choice is now, because it's probably the same scene that brings me back here.
Of course, there was the story of my life.
I don't remember that one. Maybe that's yet to come. Is there an actual like movie adaptation of the board game? Sorry, I feel like that would be the funniest
really
thing.
know.
I know there are some like board games. Like I don't know. I see movie news sometimes where it's like they're making a movie out of this. I'm like, really?
the like a Chinese checkers, the board game, and it's like, whoa, that sounds problematic. Like, no, it's gonna be cool. Oh wait, Battleship. They did that with Battleship.
That's right, Battleship.
Yeah, Battleship.
I knew there was another one.
Yeah,
that's right.
That was one of those like really silly ones. There's gonna technically, if you count it, there was Guess Who. And I think that was with Ashton Kutcher and Bernie Mac?
That's not the same. That's Guess Who is a remake of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner.
Yeah, right. But it's just called Guess Who. So you could
Is he white?
Fuck! I felt like I just had one. Damn it! And I forget.
I know they just announced one that was like a card game being turned into a movie, and I'm like,
Uno the movie.
I feel like it was something. I keep wanting to say it's Uno, but I don't think it was Uno. But it's something as ridiculous as that.
That would be something that would be like if they made a Uno movie. I feel like that would be something along the lines of like the Emoji Movie was, where it was just like we're gonna try to get this popularity while we can.
I know what we can. It was like Warhammer was kind of like a board, not the traditional sense.
It's a tabletop.
Yeah. And I know they've made animations.
I guess in that regard,
I feel like
Dungeons and Dragons movie around the corner and stuff.
Not a big Warhammer like lore guy. I love the aesthetics of it and stuff like that. I did play it as a kid and it was really fun, but like too expensive for my poor ass to get into. So like it wasn't something that was on the table for me. I was playing like Hero Clicks or something like that, So like it's just like a knockoff brand version of it, but like it's pretty cool. I don't know.
Wasn't when we were talking about video game adaptation movies, wasn't Tron a video game that got turned into a movie?
I think that was the other way around.
It
was a movie that got turned into a video game.
I don't know, man. I never.
But there was like Pong in it or something.
There was Pong in it.
Well, I feel like some of those, you could say
Monopoly.
Drive was about cruising.
It's like a documentary story or something about that.
I know.
Zathura. Have you guys seen Zathura?
Yeah, the actual Jumanji 2. Yeah, that's something I feel like a lot of people really don't realize that Zathura genuinely is the sequel to Jumanji. Like the author of the book Jumanji, the book for children that the movie was based off of, wrote another book called Zathura, and that's what that movie.
And it was just it's the same story again, just this time in futuristic space. Yeah, that was a good one. I liked as a kid too. I did enjoy it, and I don't know why Ouija is on this list, but Ouija is owned by.
I guess
sure.
It's not Parker Brothers. Who is it?
Mattel.
Really?
Oh, it's not. No way. It's not Mattel. What is it? It's something sillier than that.
I forgot.
Hasbro. There you go.
Same guys who made the Furby or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a correlation here.
Starting to see correlations.
Yeah.
Put that shit up in the Furbs.
We're on to you.
We're
gonna get shut down right now by Hasbro.
Copyright strike.
You got your eye on the mouse over here, but Hasbro's waiting in the shadows, just waiting for you to fuck up.
There's a knife behind my back. You can't tell if they're blocked out by the.
They got a Ouija board and an army of Furbies ready to go.
One's gonna appear by night.
How did that movie never happen? How did the Furby horror movie never come to be?
But it was called Gremlins.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it was close enough. I just feel like they didn't get the rights or something like that to Furbies. So.
I guess they did do a sort of
either that or Furbies wrote off the back of the popularity of Gremlins. That could be a very
plenty of things have riffed on it, but I think it was last year. There's this excellent animated movie that came out last year called Mitchell's versus the Machines. There were some Furby related incidents in that movie.
Yeah, that was a good movie too.
Video games that should have gotten movies. Oh well, that list is miles long.
I heard. Oh, what was it? It was one of that weirdo David Cage's games was going to get a movie. Something like I don't know if it was Heavy Rain or if it was Detroit Being Human or something like that.
I haven't heard that yet.
One of his IPs.
They're not allowed. They gotta wait for me to make it to Hollywood to make Heavy Rain because that's the one. If somebody's like, choose one video game to turn into a movie, I'd be like, give me Heavy Rain. I want to take that on.
It's honestly it's crazy now, even to not to get super spicy. I'm not really getting spicy, but just thinking about David Cage had such an obsession with Elliott page now.
Yeah.
So like with every character and stuff. So it's like if you ever looked into that, it's like almost beyond weird. I remember like them asking him at one time. They were like, "We found like files of her naked in your game." It's like, "You have an explanation for that?" And he's like, psh, like, why wouldn't they be there? I don't know. You're talking. Blame the gamers who found it, it's not me. Like, and it's like, it's just weird that it's there, you know. Yeah. But it's also weird that every single one of your protagonists have been the same character for like every game too. But I love it. I absolutely love it. I love his games. I loved Indigo Prophecy. I loved Heavy Rain. Like, I won't touch his like Omicron or whatever, his Omicron Persei 8 game or whatever it's called. It's a very, very old like PC game. Really weird, cool concept. It was like every time you died, you were replaced with somebody new. Like a whole new character would run out, and that was your main character now. And then it was just like, So it was just like up to you to just keep whatever character you had and try to survive to the end with that character. But every time you died, just a new person would run out, and you were them now. It was like a third wall break. It was like you were controlling them type thing, or like your soul was going to. It was really weird, but it's like old tech, so it's like it plays like crap. Like, you know, it's not very fun looking whatsoever. The story is not very engaging. I watched a Let's Play of it, going back to just people watching video games because I was very curious. But yeah, no, it's nothing like Indigo Prophecy was, where it kept you on your feet and you were dying every second because you didn't hit a button right. But it was a lot of fun.
More recent game that I played that I think would make an excellent movie is Stray. Especially you got a protagonist that doesn't talk. You know,
absolutely.
I love that.
I don't know what happened to the day and age of Homebound, of Milo and Otis.
Yeah,
the day and age of just like making silent or voiced over like animal movies. Yeah. Oh, damn it, we're right back to Air Bud.
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. He had babies. They started talking. That whole shit went down. Yeah. Like there's a whole. I swear there's a whole MCU to the Air Bud. Yeah.
I'd be surprised that they haven't made some sort of Grand Theft Auto movie yet.
I did see they're in the process right now. They're currently in production of a Gran Turismo movie. They just cast David Harbour and Orlando Bloom in it. Sounds interesting. And Neil Blomkamp is directing it, who directed District 9 and.
So it's going to be the most boring racing movie ever. It's going to be an 8-hour racing movie.
We're either getting District 9 or we're getting literally anything else he's made.
Chappie's going to be there.
You know what was a good
after Air Bud
2.
I couldn't stand the things Air Bud said in Air Bud 2. I couldn't watch anymore.
I can't stand for this.
A movie I really liked that was a video game adaptation was Hitman.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that one was very underrated.
Yeah.
The first Hitman movie.
Yes.
Okay. Here's a guilty pleasure. I love the Doom movie, like the first Doom movie with the Rock.
I haven't brought myself to watch it yet.
I like when I watched it, even as a kid, not even with all the behind the scenes stuff or like the mentality of like making a movie while watching a movie type thing. I loved it. It's just so trashy, but it's like a garbage food, you know. It's like snack food. It's just like I love it for my brain because there's just like stuff that happens in it that's like not to get sidetracked, but have you guys seen the new Cyberpunk anime on Netflix?
Not yet. I haven't played Cyberpunk, so I ended up not checking out.
That's another thing. I think it's a great series. I think you'd get it no matter what. But playing the Cyberpunk game, there's like you see the areas and stuff from the game and stuff in it, but it's a whole new story. But it's like all in the same universe and everything. And that was a pleasant surprise for me. I thought that was like really cool. It looks like it's super heavily influenced by like Fully Cooley. That's what I've really got from watching the anime too, because it's like no holds bar on the gore, the weird shit that happens and stuff like that. But like that was really cool. Like I'd give that a grade A for like a movie that's not the game, but also in the game type thing. Like that's the stuff I like to see. Yeah. But it's like if you're going to use characters from the game, you might as well tell their story type thing.
I agree. Yeah. Thank you, Dave. Thank you. He knew I was about to change the subject. So, Randy, you
talk about me now,
stuff, right?
Yeah.
45 minutes into the episode. Let's get on creating now.
Now let's start the episode. That was the preamble. Now let's start the episode.
That was the preamble before after the pre.
Producer Dave always on standby.
Always pushing. We're at, what are we up to? 40 minutes here. So that's good.
About 45. Yeah.
People want to hear like 40 more of it, so we're all good. So yeah, I mean, I create stuff. I don't know if I would say I do it like to a professional extent of any amount, but I do. Probably like blowing up on I need to blow up on TikTok because I think my TikToks are funnier than shit, but like only a handful. Still today, I'm actually angry because it was really early in the morning. Me and my buddy have been playing the new Saints Row multiplayer for like all night, but we're just getting so frustrated with it. And I'm like to the point where I'm just losing my mind with the game. And I'm just like in hysterics, just laughing. And I just filmed this one incident of the game like on my phone and then put it to TikTok. Next thing I know, it's like 2,000 views. And I'm just like, wow, why'd you just blow all my other videos out of the water? And then also I got like, that's the thing. It's like, I am a gamer nerd, but I have so many angry gamer nerds just attacking me because I'm saying one bad thing that I found about the game. And I'm like, I love it. First off, it's my first hate comment ever. The guy was like, you want to talk about something? Let's talk about your hairline. And I'm like, what hairline?
What are you talking about?
Like I'm bald. What are you talking about? And like, so like, you know, I'm spicy. So, you know, I reply, I'm like, if you want to talk about a hairline, let's talk about the one that starts at your neck and like ends at your chin, you know, like, it's like, I don't know why you're like, don't talk about people's looks if you don't want to like really bring up, like, I was born goofy, so I got to act goofy. I get it. Like, you know, that's how you go. Like, but it's like, if you got to be mean, you're going to get yours. And everything like that. But like, so I was still cool with it. I loved it. I loved every moment of experiencing the hate comments and stuff like that. But it's just like, I don't care anymore. Like, I don't care about that game. And still today I'll have somebody comment like, this is how you get out of it. And I'm like, I figured out the moment I went through it. Like I don't think I waited for your comment below everybody else's comment, you know, that already told me the same thing you did. And I'm just like, that drives me up a wall. Like, I get it. You're seeing it. You want to react. I appreciate people for reacting and stuff like that. But like, it's just like, sometimes it's just like, I was more happy that guy insulted my hair than you told me that I could back up to get out of my garage. Like, it's like one of the funniest moments of my life. But it's just like, to me, I'm like, man, I did this at like a stupor, and now it is my most watched thing on TikTok. And it's like, there's no reason it should be. There's no reason it should be, you know. It's like, I make some good stuff on there. It's like, I make some good stuff on YouTube, and I get that algorithm, right? Mm-hmm. That's a very, very slow process when it comes to like being a creator on YouTube, especially in my case, when I haven't made a video in like probably a fucking month or two or so, or anything like that. With I've definitely I mean, you can definitely look at, like, if you look at my YouTube, you can tell that I'm trying to start more series kinds of things. But I feel like that's not me. Like, I'm gonna like do a residual series type thing now. It's more like I'm just categorizing my videos for myself, so I know where they belong. It's like, this is the one you're gonna hear me just like absolutely bitch for no reason for an hour. This is me pointing out something that I just don't like. So I mean, kind of the same thing, but not the same thing. I don't know.
Well, we had the pleasure of working with you on our most popular video, absolutely, which is the 420 special from this year. And in just the short amount of time that we've known each other and got to work together, you were hands down one of my favorite actors to work with.
I appreciate
just because that. I mean, you are incredibly talented, and you're a man of many faces. Because any time we've done anything, you will start the day looking one way and just turn into 50 different people by the end of the day.
Fake tattoos and just looking ridiculous just for like a 2-minute sketch.
Shocked.
It's kind of my thing. It's like a superpower now. Yeah.
You really are like a chameleon. Like, you're one of the few people that I've worked with that, like, genuinely, it's not just like, oh, hey, there's Randy, you know, like,
yeah.
There are times people have watched our 420 special and not picked up on the fact that you are the same person in a few of these skits, and I'm like, really? You didn't?
That's awesome.
The guy from the skit earlier,
right?
And you do. I mean, like going from the cop skit to the hug dealer, you know, and now
I do,
you're covered
honestly,
in tattoos, and
I got that.
you know,
I'm playing with this stupid like tinfoil in my mouth for like an hour,
and
there's
you completely transform, and it's fun
that's
to
the
watch.
thing too. It's like a difference between like me and someone like yeah, no, I think I don't know if it's it's like a gift to have things come to mind like every second and be able to like roll
Blessing
with anything.
It's
it's like a blessing and a
Yeah.
curse. Sometimes it doesn't stop, and that's not the most favorite thing. But what I love about like doing roles and stuff like that is like really getting into just like a character no matter what. Even when we filmed Man Cats for like Coffee at 8 with like Dave and Angela, when we first started filming these like really funny sketches, and Man Cats, I remember that night of Man Cats, we're looking at each other like, we're going viral, man. And then we got like 12 views and lots of U's.
Sometimes I feel like Man Cats is Dave's Jersey Girl.
Yeah, that's
I feel like he treats Man Cats like Kevin Smith treats Jersey Girls. But I love Man Cats.
During that shoot, when I was off camera, I was still dressed like a cat, and I just fucking wandered off, curled up on like Alex's dad's like had like an armoire or some kind of well, not an armoire, but like a what the hell is it called? Those big cushion things for your feet or something like that. Maybe it was a small bench. Yeah, like ottoman. Yeah, like that, or like a small bench. Like I curled up like a cat, and I slept for like probably like an hour. Because I remember waking up to people just going, "Where is Randy?" Like, and people were looking around for me and like couldn't find me, and I just crawl out like a cat. I just fucking crawl out like a cat to them. And they're like, "Holy shit, there he is!" Like, I was just catnapping. I was just like,
you're like that reel at the end of the movie where the other actors are dying and you're dead ass just saying this hilarious shit.
Yeah, like
I was ready to see the next Randy Mation cartoon.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No one's excited for that. No,
I'm with Gella. I also.
It's my brother the other day was asking me to do animation stuff for him, and I'm just like, no, I don't have the patience. See, the thing is like the difference between me and Angela. Angela has the patience to make something fucking fantastic, and she does. She makes great work, and I can't wait for like the next episode of her cartoon as well. And it's like watching Angela put detail into every panel of her cartoon is like 10 times more than I ever did with either episode of my cartoon. Like that's the thing. It's like I've got to have the spark, the software, to afford the software, and then just to have the time, because it's just so much time it takes. And like when it comes to me being an artist, I'm a very like hasty individual. Like I'll make stuff great, like I'll make good stuff, like I can even admit that, as much as I don't want to, but like I'm not going to take like the world of time on it. Like I think even my cousins in here, I made a portrait for them of like all three of us, but me as the unicorn. And that I worked on that for like, I think like 2 or 3 days or something like that. And then finally I was like, I can't touch it anymore. Like I love it too much. I think it's good. I looked it over. I started like zooming in on all the black lines and everything like that, trying to make sure everything's perfect. And it's like, I hate that. Like I love it, but at the same time, it's so stressful to go through something like that. Whereas taking a cat nap dressed
cartoon
up
collab, I can only dream.
Sooner or later, we'll definitely do something. Like forces. I mean, you're probably gonna get an email here or Google Doc link later tonight with my voice lines for the upcoming cartoon as well. So
we had the joy of recording stuff for that yesterday as well.
That was some amazing looking stuff, and I can't wait, because it's like I can feel it already. I'm like I'm gonna go get myself a Peller Meller, so I can already feel the chemistry. You know what I mean?
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah. I even like people will say that when they watch the 420 special, where they're like, oh, that's the same guy. I'm like, yeah, like you didn't realize that. But I've also been in that same boat where like I'll be watching something that you're in and I'm like, who is that? Oh shit, that's Randy. Like I had no idea. Dave, when we were in Memphis a few months back at Alex's, he showed me a bunch of stuff. You could have made 8 more cartoons during that rant about how you don't make good cartoons.
I appreciate the confidence for sure.
He opened up the vault for me and was showing me a bunch of older videos that I hadn't seen before, like the dad fight. I'd seen Man Cats. We rewatched Grandpa's Showroom, and just all of these are hysterical. The one he showed me that what was it? The Sleepover. You fucking killed me with that one. What, is that what I can't remember the title of that one?
That was a recurring character. The same character from Dad Fight was the same character in the pizza commercial. Is what it was supposed to be.
It was supposed to be a pizza commercial with the Bungalow Boys.
The sleepover, yeah. So it was all supposed to add up because they were like the Bungalow Boys replaced the pizza delivery guys. So it was supposed to end up like a whole like family scene at the end, and everybody's like having a good time, and then it like comes out and everybody's eating pizza, and then at the end it's just a pizza commercial, and you're just kind of like wondering like why the fuck is this whole movie?
Fucking lost my shit when she walks in, when the character walks in on you jerking off, and you're like, "Can't you knock or something?"
Oh yeah,
and like, close the
Amanda, knock or something.
I lost it, dude.
I had this whole bit of dialogue too when I was Rick, when I was buttoning up my shirt in the mirror, and I was like, "If I can't masturbate in my own home, I'm as good as dead." But like I was like getting ready and I kept like working on that voice, and I remember what was it? Damn it, maybe I don't remember, but I remember going, "Oh yeah." I looked myself in the mirror and I went, "It's simple. We kill the Batman." It's just like me just saying dumb shit to myself in the mirror just to get me in the mood to say like just give this like funny vocal line or whatever. But like Rick is a simple man. He enjoys watermelon. He enjoys dad fights. And he enjoys masturbating in his own home, and he doesn't like when he can't do that because there's teenage girls over. The moral of the story is Rick just needs to lock the bathroom door, but Rick doesn't understand that. He doesn't see that,
Yeah, it's always fun to watch you just like disappear into these characters, and you're always a fun actor to work with as well because you're usually so down for whatever almost to your chagrin.
You've seen the return of Randad in person too. When we sprayed up my face again and almost froze over. And,
we went from that to you went to the bathroom right after that and shaved down to just the mustache.
That was a nightmare. I hated that moment. So. Well, no, there's still a moment. There's still, I think, been the moment that's been worse in what we produced at Camp Nostalgic, but that was a terrible moment to think that I could get through a lot of very luscious hair, with like 3 razors. I managed and it worked, and I think at the end. I looked great. I think what did we do when we found scissors or something like that? I think at the end that really helped out. But I love the Randad character, especially when I was being goofy and yelling at the trains and dancing on the pole and doing stupid shit like that. It's just like it's so fun to get into characters, but like where it's something different between like something I can do and like Jared Leto would have to like send a used condom in the mail, to his coworker to get into the role. It's something where it's like, I don't know. I feel like I as a person have understand that there's so many people out there, living different lives, like us all 3 right now. We've lived wildly different lives and stuff. So like the way we process things, the way we go about things is all completely different. So like playing a character is very easy because it's like we've all lived different lives, but we all are made of the same fucking shit. We're all come from the same fucking way. So it's really easy for me to just relate with other people, I guess, like in that fashion where I can just kind of turn my mind off for a while and pretend I'm somebody else. And it's like even as a child, like one of my favorite moments is just like going out to the yard with my boy and us grabbing sticks and having sword fights. And being like fire gut, like playing Final Fantasy like rules in our own imagination, and it's like I think that's helped a lot. That kid. It's just that crazy fantasy to want to live more lives within your tiny very finite one, you know?
Yeah, I was definitely that kid that, like, if you drove by, you'd see me talking to myself in the yard, like, sort of thing, where it's just like, what the fuck? Like, you know, I was just always so imaginative and always on adventures and being these characters and all this stuff. And I've always been writing stories ever since I was like very, very little. So I definitely understand.
Yeah.
I know we always put you in all these, you know, just because you're so versatile, we can put you in so many different funny roles because we know you're hilarious, you know, so we know it's going to work.
That's what we say. We say very diverse until we take a hard look and we're like, oh, he's half naked in this one. And he's half naked in this one. And it's like, I remember one of the first things,
Land of Dreamers.
Was it not one of the first things I think I said to both Dave and Angela was like, you know, we can't use, my body's not going to be funny looking forever. You know, like we're going to have to come up with some new material. And then here I am, like six years later, 30 years old, and my body's still funny as hell. So it's like, I think it's just about time I fell in love with that, you know, like even if that's the case.
I'm really looking forward to finally giving you something dramatic to do.
I would love to. Absolutely.
I know the word on the street is that you are looking to do something like that. And I've had something in mind for a while now. I haven't brought it up to you yet because I've still been working on it a little bit.
That's like a whole other birthday gift right there.
But I know, you know, it's one of those things that I know you're completely capable of it just based off of the humor alone. And while we're on a similar subject with Dave here in the comments section, Dave buried the lead on how good of an actor he is until he showed me the little like 60 minutes thing with him and Thor and him as the Predator and all that stuff.
If you catch him in any of his old, like even old Space Dog stuff like that, like Dave and Alex, I love them both to death, and they share this same stupid like fear or whatever, where it's like, I don't want to get in front of the camera, and it's like, no, the camera loves you. The camera absolutely loves you, and you're so good at it. And it's like, you guys can't be behind the camera all your lives. Like you guys are awesome, but like Man Cats, I was supposed to do that with an entirely different person. Dave stepped up, and I think that role was perfect for Dave. I think he sold the smoking Man Cat, the older Man Cat so well. There's a huge dynamic. I feel like if you watch Man Cat seriously and you just look at it for a second, if you like just think about the characters, you can tell like who all these people are in personalities, even if they're just men dressed up as cats.
Right.
You get their dynamic. I jump up on the counter. I'm the young wild one. I knock things over. Yeah. Dave comes out and he complains about the food because he's the older cat. Like it's like we didn't mean for like anything like that to be, you know, when we were shooting it, but it's just like you can take that thing away from it. And I think that's like the beauty of putting it all together. And honestly, I think that's something too that Dave doesn't get enough appreciation for, his editing. Dave is probably the best editor I have met in my entire life. Yeah. Like I have never, like especially Grandpa's Showroom, I thought I was watching an actual movie trailer that whole time, and at the end I'm like, I don't know why I would ever agree to do this movie if we never did it as a movie. Like I know I would agree to it, but I would never know why. Like that day was one of the worst days. Was going out to I don't know where that was. Help me out, Dave, Angela. Help me out. Where was it at? That lake we went to when it was super cold, and it was not a summertime lake. The lake was full of trash and all this stuff.
They have a real hard on for filming around lakes when it's freezing cold outside.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And sometimes dunking Angela in a bunch of water too.
I felt the worst for Angela that day. I was like, my God.
I don't. I've been through a lot. And Angela's great in front of the camera too. She would do. I feel like she would do anything. She probably would have jumped in the pond if we asked her to. But like that day, I remember it was even colder than that, and it was like freezing winds, and we like went to like do the spray shampoo to my beard to make it look gray so I could be, you know, Grandpa. And it felt like I was it felt like there's like little ice just icing, like Mr. Freezing my entire beard. And I was like crying, and Angel's like, your beard's so soft. I'm like, thank you. Like, this is so cool.
Appreciate you.
But it's like it's such a good time. if I had to say the worst experience I've ever had on a film set was downtown Champaign dressed as Tony. And that was my own doing. I wrote Tony. I wrote Who's in Your House, but sitting in downtown Champaign with a sideways cap, these really baggy jeans, this big old Bulls jersey, chains or fake chains on my neck, just looking like the
I feel so bad.
the entire person I am not. And I'm just like, I feel like, what was it? The guy walks up to me. He's like, hey, you ut the time? And I'm like sitting there, I give him the time. I turn around and I look at Angela and Dave and I'm like, oh no, they think I'm real. Like they don't think I'm a caricature. And even going back and watching Tony, I'm like, I hate how well I sell it. I hate how well I sell it. Like
too, Randy. You're in the crosshairs.
It's gonna be fun. I hope we can get some more breakable objects in the future for Tony because that was a lot of fun. I feel like having breakable objects involved was probably one of the funnest shoots I've ever done. Was just getting smashed with a plate. The first one we used was just a plastic plate. That was a great time. We just used a plastic plate because we wanted to just demonstrate, just to make sure, like, get the choreography down. I jump over the couch. The guy runs out because like Tony thinks he's smart. He's like, if I jump over the couch, I can get to the door faster. And the guy just walks over and smashes him with the plate while he's trying to jump over the couch. I'm like, he had the plastic plate that we weren't expecting to like break or hurt or anything like that. He walks up and he just smashes it over me and it blew into a million pieces. And Angela's sitting there like, did I really need to pay like $18 for these breakaway plates? and he was like, the dude started like panicking too. He was like, I think his name was Dylan. And he's a great guy. And he turns around to me and goes, oh, I'm so sorry. You okay? And I'm like, no, dude, I didn't feel a thing. Like the cap had like blocked the entire blow, but it was just like, I heard it shatter. And I was like, that's amazing. I hope we got that on film. Like, I hope we got all the plate shatters on film. It was such a great time. That's what I love about movie magic. That's why I show up to every shoot,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm grateful to Camp Nostalgic for bringing you over to Chase and Shep as well, sharing you with us, and the fact that you get to be a part of both of these really fun studios.
Absolutely. Like thank you guys for having me. I love doing the 420 special stuff. That was a whole lot of fun. Like I said, I was telling you the other day, I was pointing out the locations, doing the director's commentary, like, oh, we filmed over there. And don't worry, it's totally cool though. Like
actually, you two haven't officially met, right?
Yeah.
Like,
no, I don't believe we
Shep
have.
wasn't on set.
Shep wasn't present.
Yeah.
Stuff. Definitely haven't met, but big fan of Shep too. I also I follow him on Instagram and shit. So I love keeping up with Johnny Cash. So it's a good time.
Hell yeah.
Oh, we'll be in something in the future for sure.
Oh yeah, the time is coming. We got a few things getting ready to pop off here in the next few months at Chase and Shep that we hope to have you return for.
Absolutely. So, I'd love to be in there. When I seen your guys' whole camp series, I was like, that's the shit I want to be a part of, man. Like I wish anybody growing up would have walked up to me like, hey, you want to make a horror movie? I'd be like,
I wish we had met you before we started doing
that might be a whole that might be a whole true crime series afterwards. I don't know if you want to like accept everybody's offer to make a horror movie, but I would be an idiot enough to be like, yeah, let's do it.
I mean, they can get me after doing what we've done. If somebody hit me up like, hey, you can come act in my horror movie, I'd be like, where? Say less.
This could be a horror movie right now. We might just be writing the best horror movie in the making is a horror movie.
Right. But well, we're coming to the close here. What do we got? I still remember the day Chase asked, if you know anybody that would fit in our crew, let me know. And I simply just pointed toward Randy. The rest is history.
Alex did the same to me, Dave, and Angela too. So Alex introduced us and we just rolled forward. Yeah. So that's how I roll.
I know I've expressed it, plenty of times, but everybody at Camp Nostalgic, Dave, Gella, Alex, all of you guys, it's just been such a great pairing between the two studios, and I'm really glad we all met because we do all share this similar sensibility. I think we all do come from that Kevin Smith fan club of people, who grew up on this kind of stuff, and this is what we want to do.
Yeah, I absolutely truly believe we're gonna turn Champaign Savoy Urbana into the next fucking Hollywood one day. Like we're gonna have Hollywood in Illinois right here.
Right here.
Yeah,
absolutely.
right here, the home of independent storytelling. Well, all right.
Mellow out moment.
Oh, well, yeah. Couldn't remember if we did that last time or not. If mellow out moment. I'll go ahead and start this week because I think I need to mellow out. Not like usual, but I think I've been on one this week emotionally, and so I've kind of been stressed out, gotten loud when I didn't need to get loud, stuff like that. So I needed to mellow out. I need to take the mellow out moment for myself and just chill and quit worrying about stuff. I feel like, I was just having a discussion with my mom today about turning 30. And she said that turning 30 for her was just one of the hardest things. She's like, I had no problem turning 40, but turning 30, I was like, I hear you. Like when I went from 26 to 27, I'm like, I'm out of the mids into the late 20s, and now I'm just like 30s fast approaching, and I'm just like, I have to remind myself that I'm not even there yet. Like I haven't even hit 28 yet. I still got a couple months on that, and it's like,
I know exactly how you feel.
It's right there, and it's looking me in the face, and it's a scary time of life, I feel like. But I'm sure once the time hits and I pass those gates, I'll be fine. Then 30 will become the new 20.
30 wasn't bad. When I turned 30, it wasn't bad.
I feel like I've been 13 for too many years. Like
13 going on 30.
I know I keep aging up, but it just doesn't feel any different. That's my problem. I'm still always waiting for that tip,
where it doesn't come.
Cliff?
It doesn't come, man.
No,
I'm 35, and there's plenty of times I have to stop myself and be like, you're 35, bro. Like, like,
if you're an adult now, you're supposed to know about things.
You're old as fuck.
Right?
Let's get that Halloween video done, and I'll have a whole lot of fun. I'm with that.
I'm with that as well. I was plucking away at that a little bit last night. We'll talk after the show's over.
Any Halloween, I'm down for. But my mellow out moment. Let's switch gears real quick. Is to the Bears, to my Bears fans, stop hating on Justin Fields, my guys. It was one fucking game. They're like, fuck Justin Fields, piece of shit. Who we get next in the draft? It's like, my dude, it was one bad game. We are 1-1 right now. Calm down, mellow out.
Yeah, he needs that good energy. Yeah, how do you expect him to win if he doesn't get good energy, especially online? He's there. That's the thing too. People think celebrities are like some untouchable people. No, they're real people. They read the shit online. They have feelings just like you and I. They give that dude positive energy if you want him to fucking do good, right? That's right. That's the idea. Yeah.
It's done. The week's in the past. Let's move on. I don't know who we face this week, but let's focus on them.
If I had to do a mellow out moment, I'd say this morning I feel like I paced for 2 hours between my kitchen and my living room because I was hungry and I didn't want to leave my house, because it's just like sometimes you're just like, man, I can't leave the house. Maybe I need to order some like delivery or something like that. But you know what? After 2 hours, I left my house. I went to the grocery store. I got the shit I needed. I got back and I felt good about it.
That's what's up.
I think that's the mellow out moment. Is like when you got that anxiety about doing something. It's like even something so small. It's just like, sometimes just the step out the door is in the right direction to just push you forward and propel you forward. And I think that's a pretty positive mindset thing to come to.
I fuck with that.
Absolutely. I agree. Well, with that, there's our mellow out moment for the week. Our fantastic guest, Randy Phillips. We will definitely be seeing more of him around here.
Absolutely, especially in the chat.
Joining us. Yeah.
I go back to where I belong.
You'll definitely see him still in the chats, moving our episodes forward when nobody else.
Or derailing them half the time.
Or derailing them. It does. It really depends on the day. It's usually on the days we don't have a guest that has things to say or anything.
Right.
You're really pushing us forward. If we've got a guest that keeps talking, then you're derailing.
You guys get some really good fucking guests on too. And then like I do love the recurring people that I see too, is like they always got some like really cool and insightful things to say. Even seeing your old cast from camp, Like that to me is awesome because like I probably like twice now I've watched Chase and Shep's Summer Camp of Horrors now. Awesome. And like because it's like I love it. I love the whole thing, and especially now at the end, like because I was like I want to rewatch the whole thing now that the last episode.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
And so like but like when you have those guys on, it's like cool because it's like now I could put the human to the character. You know, I could feel more in your guys' shoes when you guys were making it and stuff like that, and I think that's pretty sick.
Yeah, Dave says to mellow out and make Randy Saves Humanity episode 3.
Nope. That's
nope.
No.
Yeah, well, thanks again.
Yeah, thank you, man.
We're gonna shut this bad boy
Thank you
down.
so much for having me. Thank you guys so much for watching me. I love everybody.
Thank
here.
you, everybody. Like, subscribe, go find us all. We're all over YouTube. We're all over the Twitches and everywhere, I'm sure.
Facebook at 6 p.m. on a Monday, so you know what that must mean. Mondays are for the mind, man. Hey, man. Mellow Monday, man. It's Chase and Shep. We back. That we're back. Every Monday, 6 p.m. ChaseandShep.com. What? ChaseandShep.com, son. Buy our merch. The page. Like the page. Share the episodes. Like, you know, I'm not all that good shit. You know. We should have a good show lined up for you tonight.